Hey guys, Thrasher here, and the Dragon Ball Legends Showdown in Las Vegas is coming up pretty soon. Let's talk about it right now. Okay, so while the Showdown itself, which is going to happen in Las Vegas, isn't for another month, the actual Battle Royal, which is the thing that happens before that to decide who's going to get to go to the Showdown, is starting in about a week and a half. So let's talk about how this is going to work. I'm on the official site, sort of running through what's going to happen here. So if you look at the top of the page here, you can see where you can find all this information yourself. I'm going to run through it real quick. So it talks about the Dragon Ball Legends Showdown in Las Vegas. There's a bunch of flavor text here. You can read it on your own time if you want to do that. What we really care about are the specific details. So it's going to end up in Las Vegas. The tournament date is May 25th, so that is not the Battle Royal Power stuff that's going to happen in the very near future. That is the final tournament after the 16 players have been selected. If we move down further, we see that it's happening in Las Vegas. It's actually happening at the esports arena at the Luxor. So that's where you'll end up if you're one of the lucky 16 people. And then let's go down through the actual tournament procedure here. So one of the things we're going to note right here before we go any further is they've got selection of eligible players from the in-game event Legends Battle Royal. So we'll talk about that event a little more in a second, but one thing you're going to notice here is after those players have been selected, they then have to fill out an entry form, and then there's a web screening. So essentially what they're doing is making sure that even though they've gone through this event and some people might cheat, some might not, they're going to screen out the cheaters so they don't show up in the actual event, which is smart on their part. It's a little unfortunate for some of us because that would have drawn attention to the cheaters in the game. Whatever, they're going to get screened out. So let's go down to the next thing. Participation requirements. Please check the event terms. Nothing crazy there. Let's go down to the part that I think matters the most. Is they say the best 16 players from each region will be able to compete. That's not true. It's just 16 players. It's not necessarily even the best 16 players. What it is, it's the best 3 players from Japan, the best 3 players from other parts of Asia, the best 5 players from the Americas, and the best 5 players from Europe and Africa. So that may not be the best 16. It's very possible that one of the top 16 players is like number 6 or number 7 in America, and they're going to get left out. So that's sort of how this pans out. So you need to figure out what area you're in if you're really trying to make it into this tournament, whether you really have a chance based on how good you think you are and how many slots are available in your region. So let's go ahead and move down a little bit further, and then we can skip all this, and then the prize is a little different for each spot. Essentially, each slot you're going to get a real world item and an in-game costume for Shallot. So the winner gets Hercules Champion Belt, which is a real item in the real world that you're going to get. And then they also get the original Shallot costume that can be used in-game. It's Hercules clothes with a Champion Belt. It's exceptionally cool because you're the only person in the world that's going to have it. Whoever wins this tournament, there's only going to be one. So that's pretty cool. And then as we go down through here, 2nd through 8th place, so 7 more people will get some commemorative trophy. And then everyone else who participates gets a varsity jacket, and they get some other varsity jacket costume for Shallot. So that's cool. Let's scroll down a little further and talk about the actual event that's going to be in the game that everyone's going to get to participate in, the Legends Battle Royal. Now, I don't know if they meant to make this a Battle Royale or they actually meant to spell it Battle Royal. The main company that obviously develops this is in Japan, so it's possible that there's a translation issue, minor translation issue, but I feel like this should be Battle Royale. But either way, let's scroll down here and talk about this a little bit. What is Legends Battle Royal? High-level matches where players from all over the world can battle each other every day at set times with standardized level caps and limit breaks. In Legends Battle Royal, players can get 100 Chrono Crystals per victory. Legends Battle Royal is an event where players steal Battle Royal power from each other. Players who obtain the most Battle Royal power while the event is being held and meet the selection standards, essentially they're not cheaters, will be invited to the Showdown in Las Vegas that will take place in May. So what you're going to do is you're going to go in, you're going to be matched against people who have very similar Battle Royal power, and it'll talk about that a little bit more in a minute. And if you win, you get a bunch more Battle Royal power. If you lose Battle Royal power, and winners do get 100 Chrono Crystals. So let's scroll down a little further. The event period here, what you're going to notice is that they've split this up into a very odd pattern. It's not just you can play all day. It goes from March 6th until March 12th, but you can only play from 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. Pacific time, and then noon to 2, 6 to 8. So there's very small windows where you can actually play. I'm not exactly sure if they did that to kind of weed certain people out. I don't know what the point of that is. It seems like it's very restrictive to certain people who have jobs or have to go to school, have other obligations where they can't play at that very specific time, and it's essentially going to make sure that they can't make it into the tournament. That's very unfortunate. But now let's talk about how to participate. So if we scroll down here, from the top PvP screen, select Legends Battle Royal, and you'll be taken to the Legends Battle Royal top screen. Pressing Start Battle on the top Legends Battle Royale screen will start the battle. So it's going to be pretty much similar to go into the PvP area. There's going to be a new button. You select that, you do this. Legends Battle Royale can only be played during the specified time periods, which we just talked about a second ago. And then you can check the schedule on the Legends Battle Royale home screen. So there's going to be a home screen for this. Once you go into the PvP area, you select the button, it takes you into the Battle Royale area, and you can see when you can actually do these matches. In order to play Legends Battle Royale, participation tickets are required. So as we scroll down here, what you're going to notice is it gives you essentially 3 tickets every single day. So you're going to get to do 18 matches. If you win all 18 matches, you're going to get 1800 chrono crystals. If you lose, you're not going to get as many. Now here's the thing is, I think there's going to be a lot of people, because there's a lot of players, and there's a lot of good players who probably aren't going to run into the other good players, and what they're going to get is a bunch of players who have 18 wins, period. That's what's going to happen. And then they're going to have to use the extra selection process, which we'll look at in just a second, to decide who's going to get to make it to the tournament. So let's scroll down a little further. Here are the rules. 9,000 Battle Royale power will be awarded for participating in the Legends Battle Royale, and then you get 500 extra Battle Royale power by winning in the thing itself. So you lose 500 if you lose. You're going to have a lot of people who are going to start at 9,000. They're going to get 18 wins, which is another 19,000 or another 9,000. They're going to end up at 18,000. So then they'll have to use these extra parameters that we're going to talk about in a second to figure out who's actually going to be the winner. So it seems like there's going to be a lot of people in this tournament who are going to be in the tournament because of things outside of the actual Battle Royale itself, which is I don't know, you can decide what that is on your own. I'm not a huge fan of it. Let's talk about the next part. You'll be matched with players who have a similar amount of Battle Royale power, which means that as you get to the higher tiers and you've got 15,000, 16,000 Battle Royale power, it's going to be very hard to find people. Level is set at 2,000. Limit breaks are 7 stars for everyone. Boost panels are fully unlocked and standardized. Equipment is applied to the player who is equipping them, which, yeah, that's always been the case. That's kind of weird. Anyway, what they're saying is everything's going to be standardized. You're not going to have stronger characters if you're a whale. You're not going to have weaker characters if you're just free to play. So this is a chance for all the people who are like, oh, I'm free to play, I never have a chance. Get in there and play against the whales and see if you're actually any good. Only Legends Battle Royale victories or losses will be reflected in total victories and number of battles. The results of rating matches and friend battles will not have an effect on this. So if you go into friend battles, rating matches, they do not affect this in any way whatsoever. And then in order to battle with other players in real time, please play in an area with a strong internet connection. Don't be a laggy douche is essentially what they're saying. Now scroll down further. Selection standards. Players that are eligible to apply to participate in the Showdown in Las Vegas will be selected from the players who have obtained the most Battle Royale power during Legends Battle Royale, and keep in mind they're going to make sure to try and weed out the cheaters. If Battle Royale power is the same, the ranking will be decided in the following order, which it will be because there's going to be multiple people that win all of their matches without ever fighting each other. So here's the order. 1, greatest number of wins. Everyone's going to have the same amount of wins. That's at the very top. Highest amount of consecutive wins. That's going to be the same. Lowest number of defeats taken. That's going to be the same. And then it's going to be highest amount of RP earned in Super Spacetime Duel number 21. So essentially the way this is going to work is if you're a top player, you're going to win all your matches unless you get really unlucky, and in those 18 matches you end up playing against some other super high-end player, which you maybe, but probably not, just because there's going to be so many players. And then it's all going to be decided by highest amount of RP earned in Super Spacetime Duel number 21. What's going to be even worse is if something happens to one of the very top players in the game during one of those 18 matches where for whatever reason their phone crashes, there's an internet issue for one single match, and they end up going 17-1 rather than 18-0, and they don't make it into the tournament. That's going to be very unfortunate, and I see it happening to someone, so that kind of sucks. Now, the last one, anyone who is found to have violated the event terms or the code of conduct will not be eligible for selection. If you cheat, they're not going to let you in. Don't cheat. Now, publication of results. While Legends Battle Royale is being held, you are not able to check your own rankings, so you can't see the rankings while you're doing this. I don't know how I feel about that. I guess it's fine. I don't know what they're achieving by making sure you can't tell at the time, but whatever. After Legends Battle Royale has finished, please wait for the publication of results. There will be an in-game notification regarding the publication of results. At the same time as the publication, victory rewards will be distributed. So you're not going to get your victory stuff right at the time that you beat people. You get it at the end of the event. Players who are eligible to apply for the Showdown in Las Vegas selection process will be informed by an in-game notification and will receive a message containing an entry form from the Dragon Ball Legends team. So if you did well enough, they're going to send you a message in the game, and then you are going to have to fill out a form to make sure that you're not a cheater. and make sure that you're eligible to even go to Las Vegas, because there's lots of legal ramifications to that. It may take a while for the results to be published after Legends Battle Royale has ended. Generally speaking, I think this is just there because people get super impatient with this kind of stuff, and they assume that the second that it ends, the results should be published within an hour. That's just not the case. It takes time. They have to manually go through and try to weed out as many cheaters as they can. They have to make sure there are no other irregularities. It normally, in games like this where you have something similar to this, it takes 24 to 36 hours. So I would expect that we won't see the results for at least 1 to 3 days after this ends. Now, please note, the victory rewards will be distributed after the Legends Battle Royale date has finished. We already talked about that, nothing crazy there. In order to battle with other players in real time, please play in an area with a strong internet connection, blah, blah, blah. Don't have a bad laggy connection. And then if we scroll down here, here are the big ones that a lot of people who say we should get rid of bots don't necessarily understand. In Legends Battle Royale, players will not be matched with ghost players, so they won't be getting bots. Therefore, there may be cases where it takes a long time to find a match. So, in current cases, if you are playing rated matches and you're like a battle rank 50, there aren't a ton of battle rank 50s in the game, so it would take a long time to find one if there were no bots in the game. Now, it's much better than it used to be because there's a lot more players, but that's kind of what they're saying here is we can't give you bots this time because this has to be player on player, so it could take a very long time to find your match. Depending on the playing situation of other players, there are cases where matches may fail, meaning they're in the matchmaking and they just can't find someone to match you up with equally, so you're going to have to try again. In this case, repeating the matching process multiple times will lead to successful matching. That's all there is to it. In the case that subsequent Legends Battle Royale events are held, participation tickets and Battle Royale power obtained in the previous one will not be passed over. So it's not like you can save stuff up in this one and use it in the next one. Anything you get for this one, you should use it. In Legends Battle Royale, boost character effects will not occur. So there's no specific characters you have to bring to get any type of boost because there's no items. In Legends Battle Royale, there will be no items rewarded. In Legends Battle Royale, there will be no item rewards generated by playing. So that's pretty much that. And then if we scroll down further, it's just the ability to go through and look at the FAQ and stuff. So there's nothing else crazy there. This starts, I believe, on the 5th. So starting the night of the 5th, which is essentially the 6th for most people, this is going to go on for 6 days. You're going to get 3 matches a day, and hopefully you get a fair amount of chrono crystals. And if you happen to be one of those people who make it in the tournament, awesome for you. And anyone that's preparing for this, I wish you the best of luck. If you guys think I missed anything, throw it down below. If you guys are excited for this event, or if you think this event's going to be a positive or a negative for the entire state of the game, throw that down below because I'd love to hear your thoughts about this event. And if you like this content, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.